A mom brings a 12-year-old daughter in for acne, and the pediatrician says, great, let's prescribe birth control pills. Her acne's gonna be so much better. And you're like, yeah, you just agreed to us to put out your 12-year-old on high-dose synthetic fake hormones. Isn't that great? No, right? But you doubt yourself because there's an authority. This is the doctor, and they're telling you and your 12-year-old that she needs to go on birth control pills. And you start doubting yourself, like, come on, how many moms think it's cool and it's okay to put a 12-year-old on hormones? How many times have you gone to the doctor where you innately knew what was being said, what was prescribed, or the dismissal was not right? And you knew that you knew some deeper truth, but you were doubting yourself and you didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't speak your truth. I knew I'm not an eyelash expert. So when I received the procedure on me and I'm asked, what do you think? Isn't it great kind of thing? It was hard to say some truth because for me, I doubted myself. And then I come home and I'm looking at this and I'm like, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. So, and over the next couple of days, I was like, it's not the same as the glue reaction I had 20 years ago, which was like immediately swollen and all that. So I'm like, this must be kind of normal because it wasn't that reaction. But I was like, it's so heavy. It's so weird. My eyes were really dry. It was really red. And the way the lashes were was like linty. Like I was catching cat hair and lint all around it. And I was just constantly in the mirror, like, is there something in it? And all this stuff. And I was like, this isn't freaking, it was really starting to bother me. But I would go on Zoom. And I would be on live and I went on Zoom and I was with Natalie and Anne and Kathy.
Here's your next mistake is that I know nothing about eyelash extensions. And so who do you ask? How does it look? I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I love it.
I'm like at Zoom like this. I'm like, what do you think? What do you think?
And I'm like, it looks fantastic. I love it. It looks so great.
Meantime, it looks like she's got spiders crawling on her eyes.
No, but from Zoom, it actually looks decent. Really,
yeah.
It actually looks decent. You can't see much from Zoom.
And so then I just reinforced, again, you're crazy. You're crazy. Like, it looks great. Even though I know nothing about eyelash extensions.
Well, and then I asked Natalie, somebody else on our team that does that. She has eyelash extensions. And so now here's me going to another friend. How many of us go to our friends to then start comparing medical symptoms and what their experience is? And I said to Natalie, I'm like, do these look right? What do you think? And she's like, oh my God, those look so great, right? From Zoom, it does. And then I go, it doesn't feel right. Like it feels really heavy and uncomfortable. How is it like for you? She goes, oh, it was like that the first time I did it. After about 2 days, you're going to be, it's nothing. I go, really? Like it's nothing? Because this doesn't feel right. She goes, oh yeah, you get used to it.
So now it's reinforcing, okay, this is in my head. It's going to get better. It looks good. And I'm going to start feeling better. This is all
I'm starting to think I'm being a wimp. Okay. I'm crazy or I'm being a wimp. And then I go to Anne and Anne's like from far away, she's like, oh, that looks good. You know, whatever. And then I'm like, Anne, and I'm very honest with Anne. And I was like, it really feels totally uncomfortable, heavy and weird. I was like, and you're like, how are you with fake lashes? Like, I don't like them either. And on all this stuff. And you're like, you know what? Beauty's pain.
I was like, suck it up, sister.
You were so bitchy.
I wanted her so badly to have these lashes for her wedding also. And so, in my experience with wearing, I've never had extensions, but my experience with wearing fake lashes, it took me a couple weeks. I don't wear them anymore because now I use a growth serum. So I have long lashes, but you know, it took me a couple weeks to get used to that sensation. So I'm thinking that you're having the same experience as me, not really realizing your experience is totally different and you're actually in pain with these. So I'm thinking about my experience and suck it up, sister.
I know you were bitchy. Anyway, but I thought I was going nuts. And I literally was talking to my husband to be at the time, Jonathan. And I was like, God, I know Anne keeps saying beauty is pain, but I'm feeling like I'm starting to go crazy. Because we are now asking for our friends or people we know that may have a similar diagnosis or have an extension done or may know nothing about our diagnosis. And we're asking them, is this normal? Is this this? Is this that? They don't know what you're feeling. And so they're giving you, and either way, it's like I was feeling extremely like almost further affirms the fact that I was going crazy. I was a wimp, you know, and that they looked really good.
For the record, because people are saying, wow, I just want to say, I did not have a clue that you were really in that much pain, or I would have never told you suck it up.
Well, it started to get worse and worse. But because you said beauty is pain, I kind of stopped talking to you about it because I was feeling like, so that's the other thing, right?
Yep.
She said beauty is pain, and I perceived it as, oh God, I'm just a wimp. I better not tell her more about what.
Don't be difficult.
Don't be difficult.
Yeah, don't be difficult.
Don't be difficult. How many of you guys are like that with your medical practitioners? You start having problems with the intervention, the prescription, or even the testing, or whatever it is, and you're told, don't be, you internally, you want to be the good patient. I wanted to be, beauty is pain. I can handle this shit. And so I didn't want to be difficult to Anne.
Oh gosh.
We are unconsciously seeking approval from our friends and from our medical doctors. And as a result, we don't speak our truth. We're not honest about what we're really going through. How many of you resonate with that? Please tell me I'm not the only one. Okay.
But you did, because we're close enough friends. You came to me, I think like the next day or something, and you were like, listen, this is really bad. Something is not right. And I'm like, that's when we started talking about, you need to get these off. You were going out of town.
It was even before that, so that came later, but you were like, you need to get this off and all this stuff. And you're like, you need to actually talk to the provider. And so what happened was the first couple of days when I was like, no allergic reaction, I texted her, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. But then when it started to get really bad, this is when you need to talk to her. You need to get this off, whatever. So I started texting her and telling her, I'm having really dry eyes, red pain, and there's clump. It feels heavy. Something's not right. I feel like I just feel like it's almost like suffocating. I felt like my eye was suffocating, and crickets.
She didn't respond.
Crickets.
And that was eye-opening for you as a provider as well, because when you're working with somebody and they would have an issue that was something that was almost emergent, they needed your assistance with, you're not even going to respond. You would never, ever leave somebody to hang out to dry like that. But that's so often what we have happen when we're working with providers.
To figure out the root cause that's underlying your chronic disease or symptom, click the link above or below this video and register for the training. We'll see you there.